Hey guys, welcome live here for the Tap Into Your Genius series, and I'm bringing on Tom Donaldson, a famous coach here in Dallas, Texas. He's laughing, but it's true. He's very famous. And we're actually going to be talking about multiple different things, about vision and purpose and how to develop some great teamwork within your companies and a lot of different topics. And so I brought Tom on. We're going to be asking him some questions in a second. And Callie Young has appeared. Okay, everything's fine now.
Okay.
Callie's here.
Cool.
So she's a great girl. I know her. She's great. It's true. Okay. But this is also part of the Tap Into Your Genius series. So just to let you guys know that this week I'm opening up for the Tap Into Your Genius membership site and course, which will show you step by step how to tap into the genius part of your brain. And that link will be available on the screen in just a little bit. And so we're looking for founding members, people who would like to be a part of helping to create that and make it even better. And the deadline is going to be September the 1st to get on board. So anyway, hi Tom.
Hey Jeff.
How you doing?
Great.
Cool. So I guess when you introduce yourself in places, and what do you say about Tom?
I say that I'm a professional coach. I help teams and leaders of teams to achieve more together.
Oh, very good. Okay. Well, I want to start off with something where we met. We're at Common Desk in Granite Park, and Tom put together a thoughtful meeting that I really liked, and it was one of the reasons why I became a member here. Not only Tom, but Common Desk having the philosophy and mission that bringing together people as a community, and something really nice. I won't say the word I thought. Something beautiful happened that day. Tom asked a provocative or interesting question, and then what happened was we went around the table and we all began to answer. We were just having some guacamole and chips, but what happened was there was this honest conversation that happened, and I really got to know the people that were there, and there's all these great entrepreneurs around the table. So I'm going to ask that question again. And so Tom was asking, and let me paraphrase here, how do you create accountability in your life, in your business? And so Tom, I want to ask you, how does one create accountability, whether they're for themselves personally or in their business?
I think accountability, first of all, has to do with what is your purpose and getting clear about the purpose you have for your business or your life, whatever part of your domain you're working on.
Yeah.
And I think the accountability part is, who are you accountable to? And I think most of us, the kind of business you're in, the work I'm doing, we want to deliver value to people. We want to make a difference. We want to help equip people to do more with what they have and what their opportunities are. Mm-hmm. And so that's really where my accountability lies. One of the interesting things is, I think when you come out of the corporate world, there's a lot of built-in accountability, and so you have to kind of create it for yourself and understand it for yourself when you're working out of the corporate environment, especially when you're working by yourself.
Let me ask you something, a little more personal question. What got you into coaching? What was the driving force, or what was that moment in time, maybe epiphany or something, that you said this is what you want to do with your life?
Yeah. Well, I think, first of all, I've always had a quest to help people. I spent about 15 years, the early part of my work life, in full-time Christian ministry.
Oh.
Some of that was working with students on college campuses.
Right.
Some was especially focused on the local church, especially the single adult community.
I'm surprised to hear this, because he's kind of like the partier around here at Common Desk. So this is like, I'm shocked.
That's a joke.
That's a joke. Okay, but go ahead.
So I brought that forward then into moving into other kinds of work, and I spent a lot of time in the computer software industry, 23 years at Microsoft, managing customer service and support teams of various kinds. But I always wanted to be able to develop people, to help people grow and flourish in their own career, to realize that life and work are all connected together, and so that desire to help people. And along the way, I discovered this discipline, this skill called coaching, and met up with a guy who did coaching. He led a kind of a manager planning event for our group at one time. And I thought, I need to know what he knows. His skills, his way of working with people, that's exactly what I need to know how to do and add to my life. So I began to look for some training and what was really involved in developing skills to be an effective coach.
What is a memory you have of a client, whether a company or a person, that something really amazing and wonderful happened that gave you such a great sense of satisfaction as to what you were doing?
Yeah, it's a good example there. I'll use a more recent one.
Sure.
One of my Microsoft team members had left my team and gone on to other roles at Microsoft, and so we stayed in touch, and he knew that I was doing coaching and said, I want to work with you to figure out some things about my career. And so part of it was sorting out how to make his current career experience more satisfying, and was it really what he wanted to do, and dealing with some situations there. And then as we talked, he let me know that he was thinking about a career change outside of Microsoft. So we talked about that a little bit. So we kind of came to a stopping point, and I had not talked with him regularly until about 2 weeks ago, and he contacted me and said, I've decided to pull the trigger on my new career.
Wow.
He'd already been taking some training in the financial planning area and had made contact with a company that he could work with and felt like the time was right to make that change. So it was kind of exciting to me to see him follow through on something that had been an earlier goal, and now to be having the courage and ultimately ready to move forward with that. So we talked a little bit about what was coming up next for him there.
Right. And then so where did you come from before you began coaching, and how did you take that leap of faith, it might be a little scary to some people to do something like that?
Well, it is, and I think I realized that number one, I wouldn't be at Microsoft in the corporate world forever. There would come a time when I needed to transition out of that. And there were certainly some things I loved about working at Microsoft and about my job. There were some things that were not so enjoyable about it. So I thought, what do I want to take with me out of this job? And really, coaching, the investment in people, the focus on people, helping people develop was the thing that I wanted to bring out of Microsoft. Fortunately, along the way, I got some professional training, which involved graduate work with the University of Texas at Dallas. And there are several organizations that do certification of coaches. The International Coach Federation is the one that has my certification. Yeah. And so I was able to actually accomplish all of that while still at Microsoft and use it there in many ways, but then having that sort of teed up and ready to go as I moved out of Microsoft.
Yeah, I took a few courses in the MBA program at University of Texas at Dallas. They allowed me to visit, and I really appreciate that. And I learned a lot because I wanted to become a better entrepreneur. So I definitely just want to say I had a great experience with the University of Texas at Dallas.
Good deal, yeah.
But I want to ask you, when you are dealing with your clients, what's the number one problem that you encounter?
The number one problem? I think the number one problem with my clients and with myself is that we all have kind of a resistance to change. And maybe we know there needs to be a change, there needs to be a step forward, but there's something that keeps us from doing that. And we don't even know what it is sometimes. There's a great book called Immunity to Change, which is all about helping people to discover what is that hidden thing, what is your unconscious self trying to protect you from that actually keeps you from taking the action or changing the action that's going on in your life to move in the direction that you want to move. So so I think the kind of the universal problem is, how do I get out from behind myself to see what is really going on there?
So within the organizations that you coach, the people that you coach, you're saying that resistance to change is the biggest problem you encounter?
I think that is one. That is probably the biggest challenge.
Let me ask you this. How do you pierce through that fear or that complacency?
And I would say that there certainly is some fear, and it may not be so much complacency as it is just not really being aware, not really understanding what is the thing that is blocking me from moving forward.
Yeah.
And so I think self-awareness is one of the most important things that comes out of this process. And and as a coach, I don't know what your hidden immunity to change is, but hopefully I can skillfully ask questions that help you really identify what's going on and sort of, in an organic way, develop your own strength or courage, or just your own plan to move beyond that.
Oh, that's great. Well, Tom, I want to thank you for coming on here today.
Sure.
Let me ask, how can people reach out to you if they want to get some coaching services?
Yeah. Fortunately, my website is tomdonaldson.com.
TomDonaldson.com.
That's it. And so you can find me there, contact information, a little information about my services. And I'm also on LinkedIn. I think all of us use LinkedIn to sort of find people. Yeah, right. So it kind of is that online calling card. And I'd be glad to hear from anybody, whether it's individual work that needs to be done, or I've got a team of people that needs to be more effective.
Right.
I'm glad to work with both of those.
Oh, very good. I mean, I just want to say, that the Tap Into Your Genius, membership site and course is a lot about stepping out, facing your fears. The first very module within it is a mindset, breaking through the fears that we have and any negative beliefs that we've taken in, because a lot of that's just stuff we learned as a child and stuff that we learned throughout our life, and that there's always an answer. So that's what it's about, and it's really dedicated to those people who know they have these gifts within their minds and their hearts that God's given them, but they haven't really fully brought them out. And that's what it's about. It's about bringing those out and helping you to be really the person that you were meant to be. So if you'd be interested, please click the link on your screen. Tom, thanks for being here, man.
My pleasure. Enjoyed it. Thanks,
all right.
Jeff.
All right, always nice to have you around here at the office. Okay, see you guys.